Hey guys, welcome to the party. We are the Weekend Rockstars, your number one podcast for all the tips, tricks and licks you need for getting started in music. I am Scott Freeman, and with me, as always, is Billy, using a different mic today, Deadman.
I am using a different mic. It's quite nice. It's quite small, actually.
Yeah.
I assume I'm coming through nice and clear for your ears.
You are coming in nice and clear through
licking
your
the
ears.
earlobes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually you
tasty.
use the King B microphone, which is a pretty cool microphone. But I've got you going through the MXL today, which is actually the only microphone in here I own.
Yes, but the King Bee had to be retired. It was too buzzy.
Oh! Snap. Imagine if that was the problem with the microphone and you had to contact the manufacturer and you go, yeah, my King Bee microphone is a bit too buzzy.
It wasn't really buzzy. It's just we thought we'd try this one.
Cool. Yeah, man. So today we did have a topic lined up for today. I think we'll possibly push that to next week. Just because there's a lot going on in our lives in regards to COVID. Not we don't have it. I'm not saying we've got it and say this is the final podcast. No, no. It's just like we've had quite a lot of stuff going on in regards to it. So we kind of just wanted to kind of chat about COVID and how it's affecting music and how we see it going. And so we're just going to have a kind of general chat, dig into some of the issues regarding COVID at the moment.
Yeah, it's your COVID update, because we did do a little COVID episode with Tom, didn't we, a few months ago?
We did, back in around
August?
In August, I think it was, yeah.
So it feels right to, I mean, it's dominating everyone's lives in the world anyway, so it feels right to do a little COVID update.
Yeah, and obviously different countries are reacting to it differently. Here in the UK, we're having cinemas close again now, and
well, not even just closed; they're literally like closing down. They've run out of money.
Closing down because they got no money. And people having to quit music jobs and go and do other things because furlough's coming to an end at the end of October, and so we go into a new phase of the COVID crisis, which is the jobs retention scheme. And so for me, having a music-related job, not really sure what's going on. I mean, I guess my situation is that I do a music teaching kind of related job for a charity, and the place I work in isn't ready to have me back yet. They say, oh, maybe we will be, maybe we won't, but we'll see. But if not, then I'm possibly out of a job. So that's not fun. And we're having the government tell all us artists and music types to go retrain.
Yeah, Rishi Sunak.
Sunak.
He, I think the quote was, I have it on my phone here. Or the headline was, he suggests musicians and others in arts should retrain and find other jobs.
Yeah.
How about, Sunak, you go and retrain and actually be good at your job?
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? It's like, it goes back to that age-old conversation that, musicians and artists, we don't have real jobs because we have enjoyable jobs. And so we're the first on the chopping block. And
even though the entertainment industry generates billions of pounds to the economy, and it's just been completely given the axe, essentially, because like even this is another issue, really. Obviously venues are on their knees at the moment because they can't really entertain people as well as they would in normal times, or even at all in some cases, because they're too small. It's just not viable. And they were all supposed to get some money from like this big government grant like the other day, and then all of a sudden it's been delayed
of course.
a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like, we need that money. So it's just dire straits all around, really. Like, and you can't. I mean, I've seen people are starting to try and do gigs again. Some people are really trying to do these socially distanced gigs, where people sat down at tables and one interesting thing I learned. I don't know if you knew about this. If a performance starts 5 to 10, because obviously we've got this 10 p.m. curfew for pubs.
Yeah.
If a performance was to start 5 minutes before 10,
yeah,
technically they're allowed to continue their performance until the end of the evening, but the bar has to stop serving drinks and food.
Okay.
So it's like a weird loophole where you can still carry on with the gig, but no one can go get food or drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's odd.
But it almost doesn't make much point in doing it because you still have to pay all your bar staff and everyone extra hours or whatever, security.
Yeah.
So it almost doesn't make it worth it. Anyways, but it's a weird loophole that's come about because opera houses are allowed to do that and things like that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Jockey, who's going to opera houses right now?
I don't know. Tories, probably.
Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just, everyone's sitting down, at a music venue where you're supposed to be up on your feet and dancing and having a good time, Is it worth doing live music like that? When you're trying to, sledgehammer yourself into this little hole and be like, oh, this is what it is now, but it's really rigid and uncomfortable. Is that live music?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's kind of like going back in time to these cabaret shows where you would go to these, clubs where everyone would be sat there smoking and drinking their whiskey or whatever, and there'd be some cabaret act on the stage, and they only get 5 minutes set, and then they have to swap to the next cabaret act. That's where we're heading, I think.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, it sounds awful.
It's depressing.
Yeah, because the thing is, some venues are going to survive, but some are going to shut down. It looks like at this stage, some are going to shut down, and that's just...
Oh, I think definitely, yeah.
That's awful.
It's going to happen. And it makes you wonder as well about how many musicians and bands are just going to give up as well anyway.
Yeah.
Because there's not as much money to be had from doing online streaming and stuff unless you're really motivated and really good at it.
Yeah.
And also you have to have the technical know-how to even to do it. You have to retrain, just like Rishi said, to be able to do it properly. So yeah, I mean, how many acts is the industry going to lose from that? And venues and promoters that just give up. It's chaos out there, and I do feel for everyone. And I empathise with them even more so, having just lost my job today personally.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I thought I might bring that up. It's COVID related.
Yeah.
Obviously my job wasn't music related, but it's all knock-on effects from what's happening out there.
Yeah, but I mean, part of your job, it was, coaches for events.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, my job was literally events based, conferences, but also music events. We did do some tours for some bands. So
do you know who were the bands?
Oh, it's Brian Ferry.
Really?
Yeah.
Roxy Music.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We did his. Obviously, it only got halfway through the tour, and then it all got shut down.
Man.
But yeah, we did sleeper buses through. There's actually a really good supplier. They're still. I don't know if I think they've had to come up with a way of making money. Right. That you might have heard them called Vans for Bands.
Yeah.
They're the supplier that we used for sleeper buses.
Right.
And they ended up. I remember they were in the news. They ended up offering their sleeper buses for NHS staff, on base at the hospital, so they could have arrests and stuff.
Okay.
And I think they've started doing something to do with online streaming, where they're just trying to figure out a way of making money. I guess.
Yeah.
And supporting artists, but yeah, man, it's scary. It's scary times at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I literally have no idea.
Yeah.
And I was saying before we started, it could be an opportunity where I in another life, it could have been oh, okay, well, I don't have a full-time job now. Maybe I should make music full-time now.
Yeah.
But now it's well, I can't really do that. I mean, I could do it, but I wouldn't be making much money. So
no.
It wouldn't make much money normal times, but
no, it's very hard, and you have to be a good boss to yourself. Really, you really have to be at it. I'm struggling at the moment, honestly, because I've been at it for so many months now. I'm starting to miss days where I'm supposed to do videos because I'm tired. I'm tired because it's all I've done for so long, and I kind of want to stop for a while sometimes.
Have a holiday,
and have a holiday and a break, but I can't really. You know, this is all I have to do. I can't go elsewhere because I haven't earned enough money. You know, and also there's the fear of, you know, oh, is my job gonna go? Oh, I should spend as little as possible. You know, so it's tricky. You know, I don't know what you're supposed to do. You know, retrain. I mean, what?
That's what I say. I know, like, it is such an arsehole thing for them to say, because, like, let's just say, like, the amount of money that the industry generates for the economy, is huge, and I get, like, where they're coming from in that, okay, you can't do that job at the moment, retrain something else, but you got to remember, that's a lot of people combined with everyone else that's coming off furlough and it's also getting made redundant, such as myself, because I mean I worked for the last couple of months but it didn't work out. So there's so many more people going to be unemployed. Not everyone can just retrain and get new jobs. Where are these jobs going to come from? You know what I mean? It's not good, man. It's not good. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but the weird thing is, right, obviously back in March when this all started kicking off. And I remember I was a bit of a doomer, and everyone was like, "Nah, it's gonna be fine, mate. It's, you know, what are you on about? It's not gonna be a lockdown. Why are you buying that toilet paper for?" You know? And I was like, look, mate. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. And I guess I literally had no idea how worse it was gonna get. Because I thought when, you know, people you know have died, I thought, well, that's definitely the worst it can get. And it probably still is, to be fair. Me losing my job is not as bad as that. But on a personal level, I've now got to the point where I've lost my job. So, like, it's like, does it just keep going down? At what point do I start going up again? You know what I mean?
That's this is true. It's very odd because none of us anticipated this. You know, I remember joking with my friend, going, "Oh, there's that whole coronavirus thing happening at the end of February / very early March," and being like, "Yeah, this isn't going to be a thing."
Do you remember being at the London Stone talking about it
with Adam?
Yeah, and we were like, I remember we were just chatting about, oh yeah, I mean, looks like it could get pretty bad.
yeah. We were like, what way is it gonna go? Oh man, that was my best gig of the year. That one, the London Stone. That was a really,
didn't you?
That was a really fun night. Like the crowd was really good. Like that was the epitome of a great gig because, you know, I wrote a beat poem called "I Miss Playing Gigs" that I put up on the channel a couple months after, which was basically about that night, about those nights where you get paid for playing, you get paid for, you know, merch. Some random guy came up and handed me like a tenner or something randomly while I was talking about the merch. He didn't even want merch, he just wanted to give me a tenner. And then, like, and also it was just a great gig. It was like everything you could ever want, and like that's why I started doing music as like a full-time thing. Because I wanted, you know, I loved the experience of doing it, but B, like you can passion. Passion, you can make some money out of it, and nights like that, it just ticks every box. And like that was, in retrospect, a good one to kind of go out on. Almost, but
it's like in January, had one of the best gigs of my gigging career with Brave Rival, where we recorded it for the live album, and literally we're flying high. We're like, this is brilliant. We're going places for sure. You know, we hit that crowdfunder we did for our album. We were flying high, and now it's like, I mean, we're still doing well, like we've still got a fan base and everything, but it's just obviously we haven't gigged. Like we've done these live stream gigs, which is like fun to like jam, but it's not the same. And it stunts your growth in a way because like you're not getting face to face with your fans. And we can't get together as much as we would like. Yeah, man, this is I am being a right Debbie Downer, aren't I? That's how episode okay, is. Man. I'm sorry, audience, but it's
sometimes you got to get real.
Yeah, we got to get real with you. We're getting real with you right now, and it's shit, right? So basically, what can we do? Well, I think there needs to be a bit more activism out there in trying to change the hearts and minds of people in terms of like what the politicians are doing. Yeah. Because I don't think. I mean, there obviously is benefits to like people's health. We have to protect the people that are most at risk, I think, right? But we also need to protect everyone else from losing their jobs and from just the economy completely going down the toilet. Yeah. Like, there needs to be a return to normality in that regard, but protecting the people that need protecting in a way. I don't know, like, will we get this vaccine? Will that fix everything? I don't know, but...
Yeah, because, the thing is, we want to protect people and you want to protect jobs, but the only way to protect our arts jobs is to have the artists doing the thing out in the public spaces like they usually do. Yeah. You know, to have the gigs going on and to have them just be like how they were. You can't have socially distant gigs because you get less people in. Yeah. You know, so it's, I feel like cinemas opened up. We went to the cinema. We saw Tenet at the end of August, and I was really happy to be back in a cinema space again. And
it was empty.
It was real empty, and that might be because Tenet was a real head scratcher. But that's a whole other podcast. Yeah. But like I liked the fact that just opened it up and it was just there, and you had to be a couple seats apart, but you could still fill it up. Yeah. Like a fair amount. Yeah. It's not the same in grassroots music venues. You just need to have the old rules where just anyone can just come in and it can fill up. Otherwise, it's gonna die. It's gonna die. And this is a point I wanted to get onto a beat before we end, because it's gonna be a short one today. Yeah. What happens if all the small music venues shut?
What is it? I mean, then there's nowhere to play for up and coming bands. Yeah. I guess it will turn to house parties, maybe. Yeah. But then you can't really do that in the summer.
Yeah. Because it will just, it will be, people doing house gigs and stuff like that.
Or illegal rave type situations. Yeah. But even then, like, that's a lot of equipment you need to get in a space.
Yeah. It will go to everyone. The way to move forward in music and make money off of it is through YouTube and through streaming and through stuff like Britain's Got Talents. Yeah. And that's just horrible.
I think the only thing that would like save it is if like someone with deep enough pockets bought like their local venue and protected it from closure in some way, like they had enough money to see it through. Yeah, that's the only way I could see that happening, or the council steps in, or someone steps in to protect it from being bought off and turned into another property developer's dream, into flats or whatever. Because then the space is gone, and then the only way there'll be new venues is if someone with enough money builds a new one or turns something into a suitable one, which the way it is, no one has money at the moment, so
no one's gonna have a lot of it after this all subsides. It will be a slow rebuilding again, whenever that starts up again, as soon as it's taken care of, because it seems to me, Billy, the only way this is going away is with a vaccine. It doesn't look like, at least here in the UK, that we're just going to adapt and take the Swedish model or anything like that.
But like at the same time, there's no proof that we'll get a vaccine.
Yeah, that's it.
And like, at what point do people just accept that this is it?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, maybe we're going to have to wear masks more often, but we just need to get back on with it. We need to, because what is this living?
No,
is this living? I
don't think it is.
It just doesn't feel like living.
I'm worried for the future that it's just going to get more and more sanitized. Yeah. Like the hand sanitizer we're expected to use every time we go in the shops. Yeah. Life will get more and more sanitized. We're going to be, no gigging, no going to the pub, no socializing. Yeah. No work even. We'll all just be unemployed, like blobs. Yeah. At home. Then maybe even homeless because you can't afford your rent or afford your...
I don't think it'll get to that point.
Mate, this is it. Like, I feel like if it does get real bad, eventually it will get so bad, where people will either rise up and you'll start getting really violent fucking riots like like the French Revolution or something like that. Like, I'm doing that. This is like real dystopian, like future nonsense. Like, this is in my head, but you know, it could get to that point where if solutions aren't found and life doesn't start returning back to some sort of normality, if you get more and more people losing jobs and then they can't pay their rents, they get evicted, they end up homeless, what is this underclass of people that shouldn't be there going to do? They'll get violent, they'll get angry, and then you know, you might end up with like riots and violence, and then what? I don't know. Maybe that's finally we get the revolution.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a real fight. I know for me, it's a real fight for optimism at the moment. Every day, I'm fighting for it. Yeah, I'm fighting to put some sort of positive spin on things. Yeah, to just push forward, and it's difficult, man. Yeah, man. It's real difficult.
I've got my wedding to look forward to.
That's true.
That's the best thing that happened this year was obviously getting engaged. Yeah. So we both got that to look forward to.
Yeah. That's going to be cool, man.
Surely by then this will all be over.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully we'll be in the the aftermath, the rise up again after the fall. You know. Yeah, man. No. That's what I hope for. I think it has taught me one thing, and it's like reaffirmed something in me. One thing I've got as we wrap up here is that you just got to do it now. Yeah. You know, in life, whatever it is you want to do, you just got to do it now. You can't keep putting things off till tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it then. You just got to do it now. And I just think if I hadn't have had that attitude, you know, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. I wouldn't have built this studio. Like, the last 6.5 months would have been unbearable with nothing to do. Yeah. You know, and you know, it's just sown that in me. It's just like, you got to get stuff done now. I mean, think for you and Brave Rival, if in January you hadn't done that gig and hadn't done that crowdfunder, and you were like, oh, we'll get, that's a nice idea, but we'll get around to it at some point. If you had that mindset, it wouldn't have happened. Yeah, instead, you got it done then, you know, and I think that's one thing I think we can all take away.
That's the positive mental attitude I got to take into my job hunt now.
That's it. You got to do it now, man. You got to do it now. You know,
and Christmas coming up. So
Christmas is coming up. So
turkey.
Yeah, turkey. Turkey's nice. Yeah. I like. It's got to have enough gravy because I find just with just a little sliver of gravy.
How many pigs in blankets?
Quite a lot. To be honest, I'm more of a stuffing ball kind of guy.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I mean, I like a good amount of meat. Yeah. I like my veggies. They got to be done right. But I got to have my gravy, and I got to have stuffing balls, a lot of stuffing balls. So I look forward to that. And mulled wine, man. Yeah. We shall, you know, if we're allowed to do our Christmas podcast, then we'll have a mulled wine for everyone. And that's the thing we have to say at the moment is that here for the podcast as we're wrapping up, that with government guidelines changing, we don't know. Like, if 1 week they might just say, oh, you can't socialise with people from other households, in which case the podcast just stops.
Yeah, that could happen
at some point, which will really suck. It will really annoy me. Okay, this is how it will annoy me in general if we got shut down. Yeah. But it will annoy me especially if we get shut down on an odd number. Oh, so if we get to like next time 13, you know, and then we're not allowed to do 14.
It's unlucky 13. It's going to happen now.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I just can't deal with odd numbers. I like everything to be even. Anywho, so today's podcast has been a bit of a bit of a rant, a bit of an outlet, and I think sometimes you just need to let it out, especially when you've got stuff in your chest. And man, like we were talking about it before. We probably had a 15-minute conversation before I hit the record button, and we were just like, should we just talk about this today? Yeah. You know, and I'm
kind of got to let it out.
You got to let it out. Yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, like, things do seem a bit bleak, but I think you got to keep fighting for optimism. That's where I'm at with it, and I believe that, you know, whatever it is you want to do, like, use this time to do it. You know, I think his name is Chris Hadfield. He's one of the astronauts who's up in the space station.
Oh, he's been missing out on all this.
It's well, wasn't the point I was going for, but
lucky him.
Yeah, but. He's just up there listening to Space Oddity, whirling around, just having a great time.
I can't let you do that, Chris.
Flicking buttons. But no, he did a great little video towards the beginning of lockdown. Did you see it?
I think I might have done, actually.
Yeah. Well, he talked about isolation.
Yeah.
And the best way to deal with it, and that because obviously being up at the space station, you're away from everyone, and from Earth. You know, it's way more isolating. But you know, he talked about things and gave a lot of good advice. If there's anyone out there who struggled with lockdown the first time round, or just B struggles with that in general, check out that Chris Hadfield video, because it's really encouraging. He gives you lots of encouragement and says, oh, you can do this, you can do that, and he goes this is the time to do the stuff you put off, and really you got to put yourself into it. And
I can also recommend watching the new South Park pandemic special.
Is it good?
It's really funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'm not a massive South Park fan, but I will check it out. I'm excited for that.
It was real good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Have you checked out Cobra Kai yet?
Not yet.
Oh, dude, Cobra Kai never dies. Yeah. You gotta check it out, man.
I need to get on that.
So good.
I'm gonna have loads of time soon. So.
Well, yeah, that's right. So yeah, cool beans. Well, yeah, guys, we have been the Weekend Rockstars, and yeah, I'm Scott.
I'm Billy.
And yeah, we'll see you next time, hopefully.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Peace.